Welcome to Managing Your Boss. I am so glad you're here today. My name is Dr. Leland, and welcome. So, you're probably wondering, well, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about who I am, why take this course, what's in it for you, how long does it take, what are the tools that you'll get, and where do you ask questions if you have any? Because remember that this class, even though you're doing it on your own, you're not alone. You're doing it with the rest of the team. All right. Are you ready? All right. Who I am. These are my family, right? This is my daughter, Angelina and Annabella, my 4 pups, Rocket, Athena, Duke, and Cheerio, my husband of almost 20 years. I'm a wife, a mother, a teacher, a volunteer, dean and an admin, a team lead, a faculty, sales and marketing, my background. I'm also a student, just like you, right? But don't ever stop learning. Okay, are you ready? So, why take this course? Now, this is from Bureau of Labor and Statistics report, okay? Overall, 4.5 or 4.1 years is the median amount of time employees spend without an employer. This is before the pandemic, right? Workers in management or professionals related occupations have the highest median tenure, meaning almost 5 years. Most people stay in their jobs, right? And workers in service occupations have the lowest median tenure, about 2.9 years or 3 years. 22% of workers had a year or less of tenure. That means we constantly change jobs, right? The younger workers were more likely to have a short tenure than the older ones. About 10% of workers aged 55 to 64 had a tenure of less than 12 months, meaning that the older you are, the more that you want to really stay within your organization because you want and look for stability. Now, the median tenure for employees 55 to 64 is almost 10 years. And it's more than 3 times that of a worker between the age of 25 to 34 or 2 years. Then they go on with the public sector. Then they go on with the men and women, right? And if you look in here, men and women, look at that. Median tenure for men and women with less than a high school diploma was 4.8 years and 4.1 years respectively for women and men, right? The college degree also has an impact of how long you would stay within your organization. Now, let's take a look at this. Why take this course? Why? Right? The average number of times people change their jobs, this is kind of like the fuzzy definition, is about 12 times in a lifetime. This is back in 2019. Again, this has changed since the pandemic, right? So why do you want to take this course? Why would you want to take this course? Lots of reasons why. I'm teaching it. Come on, you guys can really have a good time with my class usually, right? Whether it's asynchronous or synchronous. B, really, it's about career advancement and making sure that we are actually prepared to move up and take leadership positions. Anyone can be a leader, we'll see, right? But you have to take interest in your own professional development, in your own journey, in your own time on how you can manage yourself before managing your boss. But part of managing your boss is knowing yourself. And that is what this class is all about. I kind of highlighted here, it says that the reason for changing jobs, these are the main reasons. And 2 things that I highlighted is the career advancement and escaping an incompetent or negative boss. I would say that most bosses don't have the amount of time that they need or they should be trained when they become a boss. Most of the time they become a boss, it's because of tenure or who they know, not what they know, right? But they're not really ready for it. Some of them are not even self-aware that they're being negative. People are afraid to tell them they're being negative because of repercussions, right? And sometimes our bosses bully us out of our job that we really like. And sometimes they're not even aware of it, or even if they are aware, they don't really care. So how do we manage our boss, right? So that's what the class is all about. I'm hoping that you will gain a lot of tools and knowledge about yourself, okay? Now, finally, what's in it for you? You know how to get promoted and plan for it. Make a clear commitment to advance your career. You need to take full ownership of your work and deliver great results. And how to look at the bigger picture, right? And also create your own growth and improvement. How to get more responsibilities without getting overwhelmed. How to get connected. Finally, how to prepare for the next level and get introduced to the metaverse. You're probably listening to all these words and you're like, metaverse, like, it's kind of scary. It's actually not that scary. And I will get you through that in 4.5 weeks. Okay. And you will get into the metaverse world that I've created for us during presentations when you present your what you've learned so far in the class with the rest of the team. So you'll be in a cohort, maybe no more than 10 people. So we can make it cozy, but not too cozy, right? And then you can actually exchange ideas and information. How long does the course take and what are the tools? Well, the course will offer you tools and examples that have transferable skills you can use right away. So week 1, we will cover creative thinking skills. Week 2, we will cover communication skills, both written and oral, nonverbal as well. And we will cover critical thinking skills, and we will cover changing your mindset tools, right? And the last week is Empowerment Week. Empowerment Week is your final week where you put together what you have learned in the past 4 weeks and showcase your progress to all of our team, right? And the time commitment is about 3 to 5 hours, maybe more per week, depending on your ability to read and quickly do it. There's no exams or huge tests, but there are ways that you have to actually learn to become a habit on these tools that you're going to learn. I'm going to go over what it looks like in the classroom in a minute. But at the end of the class, you'll have show me what you got kind of time, right? And you're going to do it in our metaverse that I've created for you. So you'll actually immerse yourself with the rest of the team in the metaverse. All right? Hold on 1 second and you're in for the ride. You're probably wondering, what if I have questions in the middle of this class? Who do I ask? Where do I do? Where do I go? I've created Level Up Academy LinkedIn group just for our cohort at a time. You can ask questions there. You can provide information there, and everything that you need. When you get registered and you get accepted to Level Up Academy, as soon as the class opens up, you will be having access to the Level Up Academy LinkedIn group. And you can ask your questions over there. All right. First, let's look at the metaverse that I've created. This is called my office. We're not going to go to my office. We're going to do the presentation. That this is where you're going to be in your presentation time. So you'll get invited in my space. You'll create your own avatar. You'll create your own video and audio. All right. Once you have done that, you'll have posters here that you can interact, just like this. You'll also see this that I've created for you, and you can read it up. But in this metaverse world that we are creating, or I'm creating for you, you'll have areas that you can go. I'll have labels for them for you. Okay. So in here, you can say, welcome to Level Up Academy. You can read up all our rules and regulations and how to make new friends. Obviously, you're going to have a map of what's happening in this forum. First one is the main presentation room. When we go actually and present, everyone has to go in that main room. Then you'll have this one's a breakout room where everyone can just hang in there in the launch area, go to the breakout room, or if you just want to play with your new friend, go to the game room. And then I'll create posters here with all the information that you've learned so far in the last 4 weeks. Okay. So that's how we're going to have fun. Now, the class, what does it look like? Your class looks like this. First things first, you go in when you're invited. So it's managing your boss. You can actually take this class on your phone if you have an iPhone. I'm not sure if you can do it on Google Play. I'm sure you can. Okay. And what you do is you get to get started first. Welcome to Level Up Academy. The video will be there. You're going to have a course overview, what the course looks like, right? You're going to tell basically why you take this course, what are the benefits, what we're going to cover, LinkedIn group. You'll have that LinkedIn group right there. Some of my information, my Instagram, our LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, and my podcast. Okay. The outcome will also be listed in what the course outcome will be as far as expectations after the class, how you're going to get your certificate. Okay. They'll have an explanation for you. And then boom, right away, we're going to have skills for you. The power of knowing yourself. You're going to know your learning style, your personality tests, and your communication style. The quizzes are going to be here. Pretty simple, pretty explanatory. References are there. And then you're going to actually tell me a little bit about yourself and the topic with all our cohort together. We're going to have an appendix. This is actually credited to Julie Johnson about putting an appendix in class. All the articles used in this class will be linked, highlighted. So it's ready for you to go. All the course tools, how to get your certificate, the tests, quizzes, videos, right? And worksheet. In this class, there's no grade. There's no A, B. It's a matter of you. This is your professional development. So the quizzes and tests is more habit forming, more than anything. As soon as you're done with that, you actually hop on to week 1, right? So week 1, I'll have managing your boss tips, right? You'll have maybe a 1 quiz. That's about it. And then what are some of the ways to manage your boss? There's a bunch of articles that we can come up with for you to read to actually dig deep on what is that all about, right? And then I have a little bit of a conversation there and notes, impacting some videos, another article, how to gain respect to your boss, right? And then, of course, your check-in, your personal journal to check in, right? Because I want to know a little bit more about you. The biggest thing in this class that I really enjoy and love, and I'm hoping that you will love too, is that the feedback, it's anonymous, but the feedback is actually going to be coming from the rest of the team, not just from me. So you're going to submit your work, given the scenario, whatever the scenario that I'm giving you, and you're actually going to need advice, something, that scenario that you actually are experiencing at work that you might need advice. And people will, within this cohort, will give you advice on how to take care of it based on our reading, based on their experiences, based on how they would handle it themselves. After that peer reviewed, you review work done by your peers and give you example of the feedback. Then you review your own work again, just to see what it looks like. And then reflect on your feedback, right? How you do it. And that's pretty much the whole gist of the whole 4 weeks, except every single week is different. Obviously, week 2 is going to be about communication skills, the different types of communications that you'll have, passive aggressive, right? Assertive, things like that. Okay. And then you'll get a worksheet that you basically were looking at to see if you can practice it, enhance your communication style, right? And then it's all about the attitude. We're going to look at TED Talk about backbiting. And I'm pretty much giving you some habits to practice, right? And then performance management. How do we do it? We give you a scenario of certain things about facial expression, nonverbal communication. And then I need you to reflect on that face to face. Then we're going to go through the writing process, right? What are the different types of writing process? You get to know that. You get a little bit of examples. And then you get to write and see how that works. And then again, reflect, right? Then we're going to do verbal and nonverbal communication. We're going to have nonverbal communications at work. We're going to have a little bit of article. We're going to have a little bit of worksheets, right? And then exercise number 2. Then we talk about a little bit of emotional intelligence, right? You can't talk about anything else without emotional intelligence, okay? Then how do we build your own emotional intelligence? There's a free class, actually, or certificate as well on top of mine that you can go look. Then again, peer reviewed. Then we're going to do critical thinking, 5 tips to critical thinking. And then, of course, we're going to have some critical thinking in action, a little bit of podcasts from my own podcast interview. Part of your critical thinking skills is how to manage conflict, right? And so you're going to have to learn what your conflict management style is. And then you're going to have critical thinking process, right? Then you're going to have your own list of articles to read to help that. You have your own reflection journal again to see what you've learned so far. And then submit your work. There's going to be specific check-ins that I'm actually asking for you to do. Review done by your peers, review your own work, and then reflect on your feedback. Then, of course, number 4 is changing your mindset. This is handling mindset challenges, right? This is about, it's a very pragmatic and very clear expectations of what it should be, right? Have a little bit of mind exercise, how to grow your own mindset, right? Then, of course, I created a mind map for you guys between your boss and for yourself once you've already done that. And then I have a little bit of fun on scenario-based learning and what you would decide, what would you do in real life, and what would you say, and what would the answers would be, right? And you just click in here. And when you click on that, it will take you to a scenario-based learning. It gives you an idea of what it should be. You pick a choice, and it'll give you an answer of what it would be like, right? Then again, peer reviewed, reflect on it, things like that. That is for 4 weeks. And then on the last week, I will basically be meeting you via GatherTown. I show you a video on as an attendee and what you would look for. And then you get your certificate afterwards, right? So remember, it starts on July 17th. So I hope to see you there. All right. Bye, guys. I cannot wait to see you in class. I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I do. All right. Bye. Welcome to Level Up Academy.